What if I told you that success begins in the most unexpected places? Well, that's what happened with the Carpenters. It all started in New Haven, a small suburban town in Connecticut, where Richard and Karen grew up, in a modest house, 55 Hall Street.
My maiden name was Carol DeFilippo when I knew Karen, and we met in grammar school.
We were typical kids. It was middle America just after the 50s,
We'd go over Karen's house down the basement, play music, do the homework. Remember all the records over there? But the swings were over here. Remember the two swings? We used to put the records on and...
Let's look for the holes.
They're right here. You see them?
Definitely.
Yeah, because those are the two, because you got the holes there and holes there, because the swings were right here. You see?
And we would
sit here
face the music and swing. Back and forth.
She was always herself and never forgot us. Never, never, never.
Karen Carpenter, a talented drummer and vocalist, and Richard Carpenter, a gifted pianist and songwriter, embarked on their incredible journey together. Their unique sound and undeniable chemistry soon caught the attention of the music industry professionals, and by April the 29th, 1969, exactly 1 week after signing with A&M Records, Richard and Karen were in the label's Studio B, recording the first Carpenters album, Offering.
Carpenters, creating music, creating magic, in their first album called Offering.
Our first record, Ticket to Ride, which was released in '69, was kind of a half hit, half flop. In some places it was number one, in other places it was ashtray material.
On completion of Offering, Karen and Richard were almost immediately back in the studio, working on the next album, and when Herb Alpert suggested that they record a Burt Bacharach Hal David song that had been tucked away for years called They Long to Be Close to You, neither Richard or Karen were keen on the idea. But Albert believed that with an arrangement by Richard and Karen's unique alto voice, plus the duo's multi-tracked harmonies, the song could have potential, and he was absolutely right. The record was an overnight smash, and on July the 25th, 1970, Close to You was a number one on the Billboard Hot 100 for 4 weeks, marking the start of an unbroken string of top 20 hits that would continue for an astounding 6 years. They gained many music accolades, winning 3 Grammy Awards, and in 1974, the Carpenters were voted favorite pop band at the first annual American Music Awards. They were truly on top of the world. Between 1971 and 1975, they performed 800 concerts, and along with recording demands too, this began to take tolls on their personal lives. Karen, who had become obsessed with dieting, began to suffer from the slimmer's disease, anorexia nervosa, which took hold in the mid-1970s. And Richard too had his problems. He battled Quaalude addiction, which resulted in the Carpenters cancelling all touring in 1978, and a year later Richard went into treatment for his dependency on the drug. And whilst Richard was in treatment, Karen decided that she wanted to try something different and embarked on a new project, working with record producer Phil Ramone in New York on a solo album. The album won pleasing reviews amongst A&M executives in New York, and both Karen and Phil Ramone were delighted with the result. But on Karen's return to LA, reception from Richard and A&M was tepid, and the album was subsequently shelved.
I think she felt she could do this album and then it would get released. But for all practical purposes, the label and everybody's who designs people's career probably thought, well, this could be a mishap.
Karen really wanted to experience romance, and she struggled to find it despite her fame. After dating a who's who of celebrities, including Tony Danza and Steve Martin, she finally married businessman Tom Barras in August 1980. The marriage was short-lived and devastated Karen. With her failed solo album and failed marriage, this only added to her personal struggle with her ongoing battle with anorexia, and her health soon began to decline.
Good evening, everyone. Singer Karen Carpenter, one half of one of America's most popular singing duos, was mourned tonight by her family, friends, and a lot of fans. They gathered tonight at the Cypress Forest Lawn Memorial Park, where Miss Carpenter's body was on view. The 32-year-old singer died on Friday after collapsing at her parents' home out in Downey.
One of the world's greatest female vocalists was suddenly silenced, causing shock and disbelief to family, friends, and millions of fans around the globe. After Karen's passing, Richard continued with his music, releasing solo albums, writing and producing for other artists. He also dedicated a significant amount of time to creating compilations and special releases in honor of his sister's musical legacy.